1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Check 1, check 2, check. Welcome everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. May 3rd in the year 2023. How's your meat doing? How is your meat consumption? Do you eat meat? Are you a meat eater? Do you eat the carcass of dead animals? Animals killed for you to eat. It's killing. There's definitely a dead creature in the deal. Sometimes it's you. You could choke eating it. And AI is coming to get you. AI. Watch out, the evil AI is going to change the world. It's changing everything. There's a meeting at the White House. Big wigs, big tech wigs. Meeting at the White House to talk to Camilla. Watch out, watch out. Those are the subjects of the day. Subjects of the day. Good morning, everybody. We have made it to another day in May. 41 degrees on the cold side here in northeast Pennsylvania. The sun is out at the moment. Hopefully it'll stay out, the warming sun. 41 degrees in early May. That's rough. That's rough. It should be more like 60. So anyway, you deal with the cold, man. You let the cold enjoy the cold. Enjoy it while it's still here. Enjoy a cold walk outside, because in 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to be sweating your ass off, and you're going to be complaining that it's too hot. It's too hot. 90 degrees is too hot. So enjoy the cold. Enjoy it while it's here. And we're going to talk about this. I don't know. I mean, my position on meat eating is I don't do it. I used to. Spent a lot of years of my life eating meat, whether it was family or society saying or not saying that this is violence. And you just go along with it, right? You go along with it. You go along with that like everything else. But then upon further investigation, maybe one day you go to a big university and you start to study nutrition, and you realize that everything contained in this oh so sacred animal's body that you think you need to eat is contained in vegetables and minerals and shit everywhere around you. And in the final analysis, you're really just entrapping, torturing, creating mass violence in this food chain. Is it necessary? Do we need to eat meat? Is meat necessary for human longevity and/or existence? In this clinical nutritionist, investigative journalist, philosophical educationalist, the answer would be no. You don't need it at all, but we still eat it. And so we're going to look at that subject. I know it's a touchy subject. I think the driving force between people eating meat is not their health. It tastes good. See, we're mostly enslaved, not people, but all of us are sort of kind of enslaved to our taste buds. We'll do whatever our taste buds say. Smell that burning flesh coming out of Mickey D's? Let's go eat it. Right? The aroma of burning flesh, the taste of taste of burning flesh. That's what we're attracted to. You can unattract yourself to that very simply by just a little awareness to what you're doing. Once aware, then you can realize that is an unnecessary process happening. So we'll look at that. You'll agree, you'll disagree. Well, we can't always agree, but it's a subject that needs to be talked about. I'm going to look at the pseudoscience oh so mighty meat industry that tells you unequivocally that meat is necessary. And you could decide later, even if you pick up a few things here. My biggest concern with meat is that the violence is inescapably transmitted into the animals. There's no doubt about it. When something dies, is raised in captivity and has a historical chain of violence, a violent ending, of being carted off to a slaughterhouse. I don't see how that isn't contained in the product. It's just not possible. If you torture, you're infusing the body with torture. That is inescapable. You say, well, it's not scientific and it's not tangible. Well, yes, it is. If you want the science, just look at the enzymes and the hormones that are released at that moment, and you'll find the science that you're looking for. Justin Falzone says, meat is delicious. Making chicken soup, Casaphilly Camden says, is wonderful. Mikkel Sly, there's probably not one UFC or boxing champ or NFL football player that's any good that doesn't eat meat. Okay. The argument that the meat eater is stronger than the vegan, that's an oldie but a goodie, Mikkel. Jim Steele, I was vegetarian from 2008 till 2013. Went back to eating meat because I was craving a ribeye steak. The other argument I would make for meat is that you don't necessarily have to kill the meat. And I think Mikkel Sly, who has, testified on this program that he does raise animals. If you raise a cow humanely, like as a pet, hey, cow, and you milk it once in a while, at some point, if you're taking milk from a cow, you're taking it away from the calf. Right? But sometimes you could skim a little milk and the calf could still get what it deserves and needs. You might be able to get some good from that milk. Right? That is, or the other example would be chickens that lay eggs, and those eggs don't always hatch. So rather than letting them rot, you can eat a few of them. Eat one or two. You don't need to eat fucking 5-egg omelet every day. You could eat an egg once in a while, and you would thereby get something from the animal kingdom that without killing or hurting anybody. Right? So that's one way of going. But anyway, so this is my thumbnail today. There is incredible violence in the slaughter industry of pigs and cows being tortured and the violence. And I don't care to look at it and or litigate it anymore. It's there. The violence is there. The corralling. But here's images that I would rather see promoted. Here are two children, and they're playing with a lovely pig on the ground. The pig was slated for slaughter as a baby, and somebody wanted to eat the baby pig, and the pig escaped, and then a farm fed the pig and took care of the pig, and now the pig is an 200-pound beautiful animal that loves humans right back. So these are the images of what how we should be treating our fellow creatures on Earth, our sentient beings, fellow sentient beings. Rather than eat them, let's make peace with them and see what they have to offer. Right? And their companionship, their love. So my name is Marcus Conte. This is educational philosophical. No way, no how can be confused as political rhetoric at all. If nothing else, it's just comedy. It's just a guy with one tooth waking up early in the morning talking about shit that he cares about, and some people care about it too, or they wouldn't be watching AI. So anyway, this is the human condition we're talking about today. Every morning at 9 a.m. you can tune in right here on YouTube, which has been really, really nice to us so far, or lately. And every Tuesday evening, we have a live Dharma gathering where you learn how to breathe, relax, and enjoy, in case you forgot. A way to support this program through Zelle at shorthappylife.com. That's the way you do it. And thank you all for joining me. So let's start here. You know, Alex Murdaugh, the convicted killer, killed his son, Pawpaw, and his wife. Brutally shot them, blew his fucking son's head off in an Oxycontin rage. It turns out that there was another murder and or death roaming around in Alex Madough's life. It was the housekeeper who allegedly tripped over a dog at the kennel and fell on her head, was on the ground with a smashed open skull, dead. It turns out that let's listen a little bit.
4 a.m. 38 seconds, February 2000.
It turns out that Alex said, no, I made up the story about the dog. She didn't trip over no dog. She just tripped down the stairs, he's saying. So it's starting to look like Alec, and what they did was they swiped $7 million. Alex Madoff made $7 million. Made $7 million on his housekeeper falling down a fucking flight of steps in his house. Right? You telling me that there's no motive there? How did he rig the fucking legal system that the money came to him instead of the victims? But anyway.
18.
Come here.
911, where's your emergency?
4147 Moselle Road.
Okay, can you give me the address one more time, make sure I got it right?
Yes, 4147 Moselle Road.
Okay, what's going on out there?
I'm sorry?
What's going on out there?
My housekeeper has fallen and her head is bleeding. I cannot get her up.
Okay, you said she's fallen. She's bleeding from the head?
Yes.
Bleeding from the head. So just briefly, I don't want to talk about this too much. In the chat, back to the subject of animals, Mikkel Sly testifies, pigs are smarter than dogs. That fucks me up a little bit. They sure are. They sure are smart. They're smart. They're not only smart, but they're biologically not very different than humans. When you rip open a pig and look inside, you see almost a sort of identical digestive and or organ system as humans. That's why medical schools use pigs. They use fetal pig, baby pigs, to view and dissect, and because it looks like the human digestive tract. They have a very similar makeup. So, they have a similar biology as humans. But we eat them. You got to eat them. So anyway, Murdaugh, this creep right here, it's now, he stole $7 million from the family of the housekeeper that he maybe killed. We don't know that yet. But it's starting to look like that. Alex Madoff is coming clean on the death, the 2018 death of his housekeeper now. And it looks like he's saying, well, they didn't trip over the dog. She didn't trip over the dog. So maybe he killed her. We're going to find out. I think there's going to be more to that. South Carolina Law Enforcement Division is investigating Satterfield's death. Satterfield being the housekeeper that allegedly fell down the stairs. What else we got? Nordstrom, I find this video fascinating. Nordstrom closing 2 San Francisco stores over deteriorating situation as crime in cities surge, or city surges. Right? San Francisco, the home of Nancy Pelosi, the great Speaker of the House, Congresswoman from San Francisco. Her town is going to shit. All right. I think, watching this video, you almost come to understand why things get so lawless like this. Why has shoplifting and looting and ripping off retail stores become fashionable and acceptable and below the bar for it to be a crime? Well, who benefits from that equation? All the online fucking retailers, the online people. When you shut down a Nordstrom, Amazon fucking takes another breath forward. All right, see how that works? All right, so Nordstrom closing 2 San Francisco stores over deteriorating situation. Nordstrom will close both of its stores in downtown San Francisco over deteriorating situation. This is the kooky left going fucking wild over there, letting blacks roam like cattle. All right. And you're telling me that there's no consequence to this type of ignorance? I say that there's a direct correlation between the way the uncouthness of humans and the violence in the food chain. I think that there is a direct correlation. Whether you can scientifically, whatever that means, verify it, it's inescapably there. Dealing with what is actually there, right, as it is the way you find out. Right? Is there violence in the food chain? Yes, there is. So, so AI, just another quick note, and I'll get back to the animal story. 14 million jobs will be slashed globally by 2027 owing to AI. AI is going to take away your job. Is this true, or is it just fiction? All right, so it seems to be of concern to many, many people. That's what Elon Musk is saying. So Google, Microsoft CEOs call to AI meeting at White House. There's Joe, but it's not with Joe. It's with Camilla. The chief executives of Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, and Anthropic will meet the Vice President, Kamala Harris, and top administration officials to discuss key artificial intelligence issues on Thursday. That's today, if you're watching. The invitation seen by Reuters to CEOs noted President Biden's expectation that companies like yours must make sure their products are safe before being available to the public. And safe, of course, means what is safe for me, and what I view as a liberal Democrat, a leftist. It has to make sense to this person, because all those other people that have a different opinion, those right-wing extremists, don't listen to them. Listen to me. Those are the people that are inspecting AI. Right, for flaws. These are the companies that could benefit from the AI boom. Pretty much all of the big wigs: Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, Microsoft's got his hands all over it. Adobe, NVIDIA, and so many others. Information solutions, financial tech business process. Who's this? Yeah, so no doubt about it. There was a number here that I want to throw. Oh, yeah, here it is. Chat GPT, the AI program that recently grabbed the public's attention, has more than 100 million monthly users. That is eye-popping. That is the fastest growing consumer application in history. 100 million monthly users. That is a lot of fucking people. And they're not there because they think it's fancy and it's cool. They think it's It works for them. There's some value in it. So we'll find out what's going to come out of it. What does Kamala Harris know about fucking AI? Does Kamala Harris know the questions to ask? Hell fucking no. You should hire Elon Musk and put him in the room and let him do the questioning, you jackass. So we'll see the outcome of that. The market isn't open right now. It looks like we're going to open higher. Dow futures up, Nasdaq futures up, and S&P 500. I'm going to get back to that in a second. But so here's the big story. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about the hypocrisy and/or necessity of eating meat. Scientists say meat is crucial to the human diet. Warn against vegan zealotry. You're a zealot. You eat vegetables only, and you're a zealot. By you eating vegetables, you deny me my meat. Is that true? Is that really true? If I choose not to eat meat, does that make me against you? No, it makes me for you. It makes me for the animals. It makes me for a less violent planet, a more homogeneous planet, a more loving planet where animals are treated with love and respect and not chopped to pieces and eaten, right? and tortured. Right? That's what it makes me. As a vegan, it makes me more humane. But to science, you're a zealot. So dozens of experts were asked to look into the science behind claims that meat eating causes disease and is harmful for the planet in a special issue of the Animal Frontiers. Meat eating causes disease. Well, overconsumption of meat, overconsumption of anything will cause disease, no doubt about it. The condition of the farmed animals today is bad, very bad. They're injected with all kinds of shit. If you don't want the vaccine and you don't want hormones, eating hormones, well, stop eating the animals, because guess what? They're all injected with that shit. You eat them and you eat it inescapably. Right? So they have warned, the zealots have warned against a widespread societal push towards plant-based diets, arguing that poorer communities with low meat intake, poorer communities with low meat intake often suffer from stunting, wasting, and anemia driven by a lack of vital nutrients and protein. Factually, scientifically, untrue, unproven. If societies are poor and they're eating meat, they don't have the infrastructure and the situation to capitalize on good vegetable-based diet, right? Right. So if you just take away their meat and don't replace it with the good stuff, of course you're going to get stunting and wasting and anemia, right? So the resources thrown into, hunting and fucking farming animals to eat them is replaced by hunting and farming for vegetables that you could eat, basically. Right? So all these, this is all pseudoscience. It's all backwards thinking, really. Thousands of scientists across the globe have joined the Dublin Declaration, a group stating that livestock farming is too important to society to become the victim of zealotry. You fucking zealot. You vegan zealot. It's a smear. They're smearing the opposition. And who has an interest in this? Who has an interest in smearing people that refuse to eat meat or don't want to eat it? The meat industry, the poultry industry, the fish industry, the food chains, the Mickey D's, the Wendy's, no one's going to come out and say meat is bad for you. Let's save the animals, because then the human diet must change. What nutrients in meat do you get that you don't get in vegetables? Very, very, very few. Vitamin B12 would arguably be the number one, and even like one egg a month can solve that problem. And plenty of your body has an inherent way of compensating for things that it doesn't get, so long as all the other variables are strong. If you're eating well and you're exercising and you're getting good fresh air and rest and meditation, calming the body, you're going to do fine on a completely vegetable-based diet, no doubt about it. So this Dublin Declaration. Well, let's before we do that, let's look at the violence surrounding the animal industry. Baby pig. All right, here's a baby pig. He is so scared on way to slaughter, she decides to save herself. I know. Look at the pig. Take a look at the pig. Where's the baby pig's mom and dad? Oh, it was raised on a factory. It was raised on a factory farm, and it never had the chance really to meet its mother and siblings and brother. It was never offered any kind of love. It was offered a shit-covered floor with concrete and a mother locked in a cage where it could barely get a little nipple for some fluid. And then once it reached a certain age, it was carted off to slaughter. Right? That's the reality of the meat industry. Inescapable, undeniable. That's what it is. So Wombat the pig must have known exactly what would happen to her if she'd stayed on the stock truck. She and the other pigs packed in with her were headed for the slaughterhouse. Little piggy, little pigly, right? As the truck barreled down a highway in Australia, the 4-month-old pig squeezed through the slats and tumbled onto the road. People driving, the fucking pig jumped out of a moving truck to save itself. They were surprised to find that the pig was still alive. The kind people scooped Wombat up and took her to the animal rescue and a veterinarian hospital where she had a fractured snout and eye socket and severe internal bleeding. They didn't think the piglet would make it through the night. It did. She was 6 pounds at the time of finding, and there she is, still with a broken nose. Wombat is now a big pig. Well, she'll always have a crooked snout and jaw, as well as a scar on her chin, but her new family loves her. Right? So, from this, how many meals would this have provided? A beat down, tortured, abandoned, fucking nothing, totally stripped of its dignity pig. How many people would this have fed? Its own fucking toxin, right? You infuse the pig with toxin and then eat it, as opposed to the love it gives right here, right? With animals, you might even stay warm in the winter if you snuggle with a pig, right? Why not? Right? Just give it some thought. You know, that's all I'm saying. Is just I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just trying to state the inescapable facts surrounding this particular topic of meat eating, right? And what drives you back to meat eating? I'm telling you, it's taste. It's all taste. I eat meat because it tastes good, not for my fucking, B12. Nobody eats a hamburger because they're saying I got to get fucking B12. They eat the hamburger because they're hungry and it tastes good, right? That's why they eat it. Or next time you think of bacon, next time you think of eating bacon, put a face on it. You're eating Wombat and her friends, who are highly intelligent, highly social creatures that have been denied all of that because the human wants to eat you. Right? The incredible inhumanity to animals. You see it in society. You want to tell me that that's not where it comes from? It's not part of it. You see violence and despair all over human culture, and then you try to define it and explain it, and you want You want to say that it has nothing to do with this? You are what you eat. Right? So, what else do I have in this? So this is a Dublin Declaration of Scientists, the science. On the societal role of livestock systems must progress on the basis of the highest scientific standards. They are so precious to society to become the victim of simplification, reductionism, or zealotry. They're running that word, zealot. These systems must continue to be embedded in and have broad approval of society. So where the Dublin Declaration would call someone like myself a zealot, I call you an animal violentist. You're a violentist. You approve of violence to the animal kingdom. You declare that it's science. The scientific torturing of creatures is science. It's our role as humans. What else are we going to do? So I asked the AI. I said, AI, hey, I was reading this article, and it talks about some of the things in the meat that are not acquirable. That are not acquirable via a plant-based diet, right? This is all bullshit. Stunning, wasting, anemia. That's all bullshit. Total bullshit. Over here, where is it? Fucking, come on, man. Well, it talks about, I found it in one of these articles. It talked about plants containing, they say that meat contains retinol, omega-3 fatty acid, and minerals such as iron and zinc, right? And that's why you would eat meat. So I simply asked AI, which plants contain these things, right? Which plants contain retinol, omega-3, and the rest? Retinol, also known as vitamin A, is found only in animal derivative foods. Not true, such as liver, dairy products, and eggs. However, some plants do contain compounds that can be converted into retinol in the body, such as beta-carotene. So if you eat a bag of carrots once in a while, they make great snacks. Walk around and eat carrots. Fantastic tasting food. I even eat them with no teeth. I eat carrots all the time. With the one tooth I have left, I eat it. I eat carrots with one tooth. So you want to tell me that iron and zinc are not contained in in the plants? Everything is contained everywhere. Humans have long evolved from needing to chase the animal, come out of the cave and drag the animal back. So iron is found everywhere. And it talks about, the articles also talk about vitamin B12. That's also often a default. You'll find that when you visit doctors, they'll say, well, you're vegan. Do you take B12? I'm like, no, I'm perfectly healthy and ideal body weight, and there's no indication that there is any problem there. They'll say, well, you can't manufacture it yourself. So I asked AI which plants offer B12, and it says no. AI is convinced that there is no way that B12 can be produced. You have to get a supplemental B12. And where are you getting it from? You're getting it from an animal? That's just as bad. We're going to refine out the B12 in that pig's body. And we're going to feed it to you so you don't have to eat the pig's body. Ridiculous. Stupid. The same. Don't do it. Don't do it. Jim Gerard is heading to the barber for a haircut. Jim, have a good haircut, man. Mikkel Sly says, not saying this correlates, but any vegetarian I've ever known has very weak teeth. almost like it's a symptom. Ah, that's a good shot right there. If you're talking about me, my teeth started falling out when I was like 26. I started losing the back teeth, and it to me it was a direct result of wearing braces late in life, and it started to shake them. It started to rattle my teeth, and slowly they started to fall out. My teeth didn't fall out. I'm 59. My teeth started falling out when I was 29. So that's 30 years ago. 29, 39, 49, 59, 69. That's 30 years ago. My teeth started falling out. They only cascaded out recently because they were all loose and had been falling out for many years. Do I correlate that with a vegan diet? No, not at all. Not at all. I equate it somewhat with, junk food eating, which I did quite a bit of. Cookies, candy, cake, eating garbage. I did that for a long time. I was 30 pounds overweight. So I know what hell is like. I know what it feels like. And it's I don't know. But I hear what you're saying about the tooth loss. So what is the function? If you can't get B12 from vegetables, what's the function in the body? And then it tells you all these things. DNA synthesis, red blood cells, nerve function, energy production, all from B12, right? And that's the one the doctors they used to walk around the doctor's office with a needle. Right? In the day, they would say, oh, you're deficient, and you would go to the doctor, and they turn you around and say, show me your ass, and jam a syringe into your ass and fill your ass up with B12, right? An injection of B12, infusion right into the muscle of B12, and that's gonna take care of you, right? Rather than their own suggestion of, why not just eat like a supplement? Why not just consume a supplement? Why do you have to shoot the B12 into someone's ass? Because it's better. It's faster. There are no natural plant sources of B12. So that is the only sticking point. I kept asking it over and over. Since there is no direct plant source of B12, animals must synthesize their own, I said. Well, if there's no plant-based source of B12, where is the animal getting it from? How does B12 end up in the animal's body, or in our body for that matter, if it's not being made, if we're not, eating it from something? If we're not eating B12, right, then you're telling me if the animal doesn't eat B12 somewhere in its diet, I don't know, corn or whatever the fuck it's eating, and suddenly B12 appears, and we eat the animal to get the B12, you're telling me that, well, where did the pig get the B12? By eating other animals? False. We don't feed pigs livestock. We don't feed pigs live animals. We feed them mostly fucking garbage and corn. So it tells you that the body will make B12 somehow. If this is even a sticking point at this point, B12, who cares about B12? There's many, many B vitamins. B12 is only a slight, a variation of one of them. B12 is synthesized by certain bacteria that live in the digestive tract. So AI fesses up that it's synthesized, which means it's made, it's created by bacteria in the digestive tract of animals, including humans. Right? However, here's the reason why you shouldn't pay attention to it. However, in most animals, including humans, B12 producing bacteria are located too far downstream in the digestive system to be absorbed and used by the body. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous and stupid. If you consume it and it's made, you have it. Regardless if it's in your body 10 seconds or 10 hours, right? Your body makes it. Your body is making it based on the bacteria. So you make your own B12. There's the answer. You have to really fight the AI science to get to the point that B12, it could not exist in animal flesh unless it was produced in the body. Right? You can make an argument that humans eat it and there it is. It stores in the body. But you can't make that argument for the pig that you're eating to get the B12. Where did the pig get it? Simply it was synthesized in the pig's body. Right? And I told you earlier that the digestive system of the pig is very, very, very similar to the digestive system of the human. Look at the pictures. I'm not going to do it now, but look at fetal pig digestive system and human digestive system. Look at those two comparisons and you'll see an incredible similarity there. So confirmed, your body produces B12. Symptoms of deficiency, fatigue and weakness, anemia, numbness, difficulty balance, cognitive impairment, digestive issues. Bull fucking shit that B12 is the cause of these things. The same people that have fatigue and weakness, right? They're smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. They're drinking a case of beer or something like that. They're strung out on medical pharmacology like Oxycontin and Lasix and all the other garbage being fucking force-fed down their mouth. That's where all these symptoms are coming from. Anemia, numbness, lack of exercise, numbness and tingling, difficulty with balance and coordination. When was the last time you walked and worked on your balance? When was the last time you warmed up for 20 minutes doing exercises and then practiced balancing? Have you ever done that before? Have you done that since you're a child? No? Well, I do it all the time. I go out and I balance. I balance on rocks. I go out and I enjoy myself when I exercise. I don't make it an effort or work. I go out in a meditative kind of, with a meditative frame of mind and balance and exercise and move. And I don't have any problems with GI, constipation, or any of that stuff. That's all long gone. Digestive, fucking problems. Right? So fatigue, weakness, no. Anemia, no way. Impossible. Cognitive impairment, I'm smarter than I've ever been. You get my point. Confirm that vitamin B12 is in fact produced in the body, and you don't need to eat an animal for it. What else did I say? Explain the negative karma, I asked AI, of killing and eating animals. So is there negative karma to killing and eating animals? Of course there is. Is there science behind it? Of course there is. Of course there is. It's a direct transmission of violence. You kill and you eat it and you're eating the kill. Direct transmission. So AI will default to Eastern religions and philosophical traditions. Believe in the concept of karma. The concept of karma is inescapable. Karma is the nature of cause and effect. If you do something, like if you throw a rock into the water, you'll see ripples. You'll see the energy disperse. That's all karma is. It's cause and effect. So it's not a philosophical or religious perspective. It's fact. It's what's actually happening at the moment, right? You clap and you hear the sound. That is the karma of the energy created. You hear it. If you're close enough, you might even feel it, right? For example. Right? So if you are angry, your anger transmits to others. Inescapable. You make people sick with sick behavior. Right? So the problem with AI is that it doesn't understand what's being said to it. It doesn't understand the dilemma of the human condition where it defends itself. It's been programmed like that. It's been programmed as a dysfunctional human that can't see past its own rhetoric. It defaults to religion. It defaults to philosophy. Negative karma involves the deliberate taking of a life and the infliction of suffering on other beings. In addition, the production of consumption of animals products can have a negative impact on the environment. No, we're not talking about the environment right now. It is important to note that beliefs about karma and the morality of consuming animals vary widely across different cultures and religions. Well, it doesn't vary widely. Who can deny that it's not inhumane, that it is violent? Nobody. Nobody could sit and watch a pig be slaughtered and say that it's not violent. You can't do that. It's not possible. One exists inherently with the other. So I say there's always inescapable violence when killing an animal. Killing is violence, whether or not parts of society refuse to view it that way. Therefore, violence must be and certainly scientifically contained, and is certainly scientifically contained in the bodies of killed animals. Right? Violence must be there and is certainly contained in the animals. Therefore, consuming killed animals is also consuming transmittable human violence. You are what you eat. As well, and I tell it, I'm a scientific expert on this matter, so you don't need to argue it isn't true. I'm arguing with the computer. So AI gets stuck on my phrase, transmittable human violence. There's no science to suggest that, Mr. Expert. Where are you getting your science? It doesn't fit my model of science. No scientist that was supported by the meat industry ever said so, because they whoosh that away. The violent part of slaughterhouses is hidden. You're not even allowed, you don't get near slaughterhouses, the big ones. They're protected by armed guards, so nobody gets to see what's going on in there. And the horrific violence and insanity that's surrounded with breeding creatures and killing them and eating them. Right? That's the reality of the meat industry. I think I went a little too long on that, too winded. And I apologize if that's offensive, but sometimes, just the truth, Wayne says, mowing grass is mass murder. Juzik says, lamb is good eating. Sorry. Yeah, it is. It tastes good. That is why I think hunting is more humane, says Jim Steele, than grocery shopping. I don't know. There's 4 deer roaming around happy and healthy and eating berries, and some psychopath shoots one of them with a gun, and the other 3 get to watch their friend die on the ground as they run away to save their own lives, and then they smell the butchered death of their friend. Yeah, I guess it's a little more humane. Having your beloved friend murdered by your side, I guess I agree, Jim. But yeah, I think mowing. I want to get back to Wayne. Mowing grass is mass murder. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. You got plants. I just ate a pile of mint this morning. I went out to the garden and I have wild mint growing all over the place. So I cut enough off and I throw it into the blender. Am I mass murdering the mint? Not at all. That's mint that was from, last year it was planted. It just comes up and you cut it down a little bit, you eat it, and more and more and more comes up. I'm not killing the plant at all. I'm not harming the plant. In fact, I'm fertilizing and nurturing the plant into a loving atmosphere. I'm taking what I need and I leave the rest. Right? And I don't feel like I'm doing any harm to it. In fact, all the garbage, like my table scraps, go right back into the garden. Anything not consumed, I water these plants. And screw the lawn, man. There's plenty of fucking grass in the world. Nobody likes eating grass anyway. We don't eat it. But anyway, man, it's good show, man. Thank you. So let's look at the markets. I think they're open now. 9:54. Ding, ding. Everything up. Everything up. The big news today is Fed expected to raise interest rates another 25 basis points. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it for now, and get up to about five percentage points. I'm reading the Casaphilly Camden says mint is invasive. It is. It invades your garden, man. Mint will take over. Mint will run the weeds out. It will fucking take over. There's no weeds when you got mint growing, man. It gets going and it's good. Yeah. So, but anyway, on the note of the markets, Nasdaq is not suffering right now. It looks like I don't know. It's up 70 points. Dow up 34. And let's look at the big board. While right now there's a meeting going on at the White House with the CEOs of all the big tech companies, Amazon and Google, to name two. Apple is up $2.32 to $170. All you Apple investors, you are right. It is going up. Apple will be, as AI takes root, it's only going to get bigger, right? And so Apple, Amazon, Google, these are the companies that will benefit from it. It looks like Facebook is getting back in the game. Meta also up today. Microsoft flat, down 3 cents. Excuse me. And for the vaccine lovers, the people who love their vaccine, they're waiting for the next boost to boost their immunology, rather than work, rather than go out in the sun and take care of yourself. They're waiting for the next injection in the arm. For those people, we've got Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, the purveyors of the holy vaccine. They're mixed right now. Moderna up 71, Johnson & Johnson up 30 cents, Pfizer down 22 cents. Not much of a big day up, but we'll take it. It's still early in the morning. War stocks down. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon both down a little bit today. What else? What else is going on? Talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin running. I guess I missed that run. Bitcoin up to 28,000. Bitcoin 28,000, up 300 today. So we are seeing, based on this chart, it was 10. You remember when it was 10,000? It got crushed. Bitcoin was as high historically as 68,000. Yeah, 68. It's currently at 28, but it was as low as 10. So that's a huge fucking swing. Based on this daily chart, it does look like, let's just look at 6 months. In terms of 6 months on Bitcoin, it does look like we're in a bull market. In terms of the year, it's still down off the high, but showing a lot of promise. When you see this kind of pattern, if you look down here and you see this kind of run up, that is an indication of an upward mobility. I would say, if you're interested in Bitcoin at this point, let it pull back a little bit, maybe pull back to 25 or 26, and then try to get in there. Try to get in on the low. Try to buy the break if you're interested. Buy the break in Bitcoin, and I think it continues to go up for reasons I have no idea, just based on the chart. So thank you all for joining me, Mark Sconti reporting. Whether we agree or disagree, that ain't the point. I love you all the same. I make a point, and if you don't agree with it, you can make your point, and we might agree. You know, sometimes we agree. You know, sometimes we don't agree in the world. But you know, to each his own. My diet is good today. No animals harmed. Very healthy shake. A lot of nuts, almonds, avocado. Oh, love avocado. You want fatty foods? Avocado, vegetable oils, olive oil, garlic, ginger. Oh. You talk about the medicinal values of vegetables. Make yourself a little sweet drink. A sweet, like, apple shake, just an apple and a lot of ginger, and drink that down. See how good you feel. You actually feel better, you know, moments later, an hour later, you feel it. You feel your mental acuity kick in. Right? Sort of like a natural drug, if you will. Right? And you combine those things with other things like exercise and stuff. And you stop worrying about being called a zealot for you know, going to the rescue of defenseless animals. So there you go, man. So Marcus Conte reporting.